Morning everyone, my name is Audrey. I am Stitchy Witch 42 here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. Today is Monday. It is the 24th day of January 2022. It is 30 degrees outside and foggy. So this is my channel about cross stitch, life, the universe, and everything. And I have a lot to share today, which really kind of surprises me because here recently I have been doing mostly monogamous stitching. I say mostly because there has been a bit on the side here or there. Yeah, mostly monogamous stitching. So, I got the camera set up, I've got the table with the notes, I've got the stool with the stuff. You can see things back here, and you might notice that there's some new things back there. My display is not, over the top fancy like some people do. I'm lucky to have this up because when it comes to decorating my sideboard, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't have that designer gene that says this is how you decorate. Oh well, works for me. So, like I said, I have been mostly monogamously stitching on one project, and that's where I'm going to start. The project that I have been working on, mostly monogamously, I'm going to see how many times I can say that, has been my Stoney Creek Halloween Village Afghan. And I house that in this beautiful Mondo bag that was made for me by my friend Lori, Texstylust. And this bag is just gorgeous, and it's huge, and it's got pockets, and it's wonderful. Inside of it, I have another smaller bag. This one I refer to as my bat bag. I think I found this maybe at Target a couple of years ago. It was like $4 or $5. But in it, I have my cone of 310 black because according to the pattern, this is an Afghan, and it's going to take like 37 skeins of black, so buy a comb. Then I have my ring that has all the beautiful colors, and these are mostly DMC. I made these cards and I laminated them, and I put one skein of every color that would be needed on here. And then as I run out of them, I go and buy handfuls more and stuff them in the bottom of my bag. I have a baggie in here with my specialty flosses in it. And then you know how, I don't remember the name of the person who is making them, but I've seen several people talk about them. They have that really lovely piece of wood that you can use for wrapping your floss around it, cutting one end so you can cut your floss down to easily used lengths. I have a piece of foam core. I've got notes written all over this, numbers that I needed of the floss, which side is my cut end, and basically I wrap my floss around this piece of foam core, and then I cut it, and I end up with 18-inch lengths of floss to put on my cards. This piece is being stitched 4 strands over 2 on 20 count Lugana, ash gray Lugana. And while this picture doesn't show all of what it's supposed to look like, it gives a really good representation of what it's supposed to look like. So This is an afghan. The approximate size done is 44.5 inches wide by 53.5 inches high. And I wanted to start out by showing you how I house all of that to work on it. I use an 11 by 11 Q-snap, and this is how I currently have it wrapped around the Q-snap. I use these magnetic silicone ties, and I found that the 11 by 11 gives me a good size to work with. I tried using my 11 by 17 and it was too wide for me. It gave more space to work, but I felt that it was too bulky for me. But what do you do with all this extra fabric that you have going on here? Well, I have found that by using these, I start by taking the fabric at the top. I am on like the second row of 5 pages, and I roll the top down and hook it with magnetic ties. And then I take the side and I roll it down this way to reduce as much bulk as I can, and then I put it in, and I do that with both sides. Now, depending on where I'm at on the pattern, I will sometimes end up with more bulk on one side than the other side. And when that happens, I take 2 of these. God, they like to connect together so easily. But then again, they are magnetic. I will take 2 of these ties, put them together with the magnet, and then tie a little bit of a knot in it, and that extends how long it is, and so I can get more fabric underneath it. So, like I said, this has been my mostly monogamous piece. When it comes to doing things repetitively, I can get very bored very quickly. This pattern has 8 pendants in the center that spell out Halloween, and that's currently where I'm working at on it. And they look like candy corn. There's 3 shades of yellow and 3 shades of orange and white glow in the dark, and then the black lettering, and then the black outlining, which I had been forgetting to do. But I'd started this pattern 2020 with Julie from Stitching at the Cabin. Both Julie and her daughter Alyssa are doing the Christmas Village Afghan, and she commented about the backstitching, which reminded me that I had backstitching to do. So I'm working on those candy corns, the pendants, and after about 3 of them, my mind started wandering and I needed to do something else. But this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. And if you look at the pendants, if you look at this one down here, I've got the outlining done around the end. I've got most of the outlining done around the second one. But you can see the difference in these between what's outlined and what isn't outlined. On the ones that aren't outlined, it's kind of hard to see the white tip at the bottom. The black brings it out and makes it look just fantastic. The last time I showed you, I did not have this pumpkin done over here, and I have continued down with the black and purple border that's going around it. I think when I get done with outlining these other 2 here, I'm going to come back over this side and work down a little bit because the pendants are rather monotonous. But here is what she is looking like at this point. So, mostly monogamous. And fabric wrangling. I found that using the magnetic ties is very helpful with this project in containing the fabric. I don't worry about the bottom because pretty much I will leave it sitting in the bag while I'm stitching on it, so I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. Have to check my needle is stuck in all of these magnetic ties, but that's okay, it's in the bag. So that has been my mostly monogamous stitch. But like I said, I was getting bored of stitching the same thing over and over again. So it would help to put the pattern back too. So I had purchased a pattern from Underthewoolenwillow. Now I follow Michelle on Instagram and she's constantly tempting me with all sorts of good stuff from her shop. Last year I went crazy with all the strawberries and I have a ton of them upstairs. But I went over and I was looking at her shop because she has the skinny pillows, and I saw this pattern. And it says witch. So I had to have it, right? I had to have it. So this was a kit. It came with the fabric, it came with the felt, it came with a button, it even came with the floss and the pattern. I've only done really one other wool applique project, and I shared that with you a while back. So I knew that this would be like that, but this one also incorporated embroidery. And I don't know if I've ever done embroidery before. I don't know. I'm 62. Am I supposed to be able to remember what I did as a little girl? Anyway, I finally decided to get up the nerve to do it. I grabbed the pattern, I grabbed the fabric. I tried using a white fabric pencil to put my pattern on the fabric, and that didn't work, so I just went ahead and I used a graphite pencil. Please give me ideas of what it is that I'm supposed to use. But I traced out the word witch, I stitched it, I cut out the pieces, sewed them onto it, and I created my little skinny pillow. It even came with the backing fabric too. So I was really, really tickled with this. It was a fun little project, only took me a couple of days. So this was my second fully finished project so far this year. Second, which means there's more, right? Yeah. So, strawberries. My neighbors next door, we always exchange Christmas gifts with them. And for Christmas this year, they got me this cute little, it's supposed to be an ornament. It's a shopping cart. Because I work in a grocery store. So I used it, and I have strawberries running away from me. I filled it with the blueberries that Kathy from To Dye House made for me, and the strawberries that she made when she sent me those. And I've added to it a cute little wool strawberry that Lisa, Prims on Greenway, sent to me. So I have that sitting here. And I think it's cute. Remember to pick up the random strawberry. Okay, so other projects that I have worked on. Stuff. Melanie Smith, Yarns and Threads. Wow, I'm a name dropper today, aren't I? Last year she and I did a Halloween Advent exchange, and she included in the box that I got several little mill hill kits. Like I said, I was stitching on the afghan. I was getting tired of the pendants. I needed something that was going to be quick and easy to do, and I decided to pull out one of the little kits that she sent me, which is a Mill Hill Autumn Harvest collection. It is called Enchanted Moon, and make this. This is cute. This is so stinking cute. Now the Mill Hill kits, if you've never stitched them before, again, they come with everything. And I had posted a picture of this on Instagram, and I asked if people would be interested in a video going into more detail about Mill Hill kits, and I think I'm going to try and do that. I just haven't worked up the courage to get started on it, but I will. Anyway, this is my finish with the Enchanted Moon. In the kit there is a magnet included so that you could make this into a refrigerator magnet. You could use these as needle minders if you wanted to, if you used the right kinds of magnets. But I just finished them with a piece of black sticky back felt, and I added some beads up at the top to make it into a little ornament. So this was my first start and fully finished item of 2022. If you're interested in me doing a video about Mill Hill kits, let me know. I'd like to know that there's some interest in that before I actually get down to doing it, because I think they're great and they're fun, and I know a lot of people either haven't tried beading or haven't tried stitching on perforated paper. I love it. It's a nice break from stitching other things, and I have some ideas, so let me know if you'd be interested in a video about that. Okay, so I did my Mill Hill. That was my first new start, fully finished. My second one was my witch pillow. Well, now because I've been stitching on the Mill Hill kit, that got me into thinking I need to finish my Mill Hill pattern. And I showed this one, well, I showed it recently when I did the video at the beginning of the year that I showed my 7 projects that I had. I posted on Instagram that Alyssa Smith, Kindered Stitcher, I posted that I had a video up showing all 7 of my projects. And she commented, 7? Don't you mean 27? Or 47? And I said, no. I said, no, 7 is the number. The number is 7. And she goes, the accounting department will be doing an audit. There's only 6 now. Not because I finished any of those 7, but because I sent one away. It was adopted. The Celtic Knot Runes piece, which I think is gorgeous. I asked if anybody wanted to adopt it, and there was several people that wanted to. So I drew a name and I got it sent off to Carol Newey, who actually lives here in Oregon. She lives up in Portland, so maybe someday we can meet at Acorns and Threads. But the whole idea of trying to do some monogamous stitching is to get those projects that I've been working on finished. And the other one that I have that is a Mill Hill pattern is this one, Harvest Trio. It is a Jim Shore design that is put out by Mill Hill. This shows it being stitched on 27 count banding, and you can buy banding at Acorns and Threads. You can get everything at Acorns and Threads. You can get all the Mill Hill kits at Acorns and Threads because they're awesome. So I'm keeping this one in a Alyssa Smith bag. And I had finished all of the stitching. So I am now working on the beading. So I've been stitching on this on a Q-snap because I almost always stitch on Q-snaps. and I was wondering how to put it on here so that I could do the beading, and when I had to move the fabric, I wouldn't end up crushing any of the beads. So what I did is I reversed it. I'm going to show you the back side. I reversed it, and I took the clamp from the bottom and the top and caught the very top and bottom of the banding, and then I rolled it in so I can unroll it. But this way, as I'm beading, and I started from the top to go down, when I roll it, the beads are going to be on the outside of the fabric, and there's not going to be anything to crush them. And it seems to be working. So this is the area that I am currently working on. This is the bottom bird. And if I could do this. Okay. These are the top two birds. They are completely stitched. They are completely beaded. The legs are all beads. Each one has a couple of different colors in it, and then they are outlined with black beads, and the black beads outline the bird's feathers. I am currently working on the third bird, beating the third bird. That's not beating, it's beating the third bird. And I am really tickled with how this is looking. And again, I'm thinking about doing a more in-depth video on Mill Hill kits. If you're interested, let me know. I've been feeling a bit frustrated here lately, and I know it's normal for there to be ebb and flow in the number of views you get on your videos. But here recently, my videos have, the number of views that I've been getting have diminished dramatically. And I know part of it is because I've been recording randomly. But I'm just kind of feeling like, do I continue? Would now be a good time to stop? Do I want to stop? Why am I doing? I'm questioning myself. So I'm asking for input from you. If you're interested in my videos, let me know. If you would like me to do a video that's more in depth about Mill Hill kits and such, I would like to do that if there's interest. The other thing is my subscriber count has, I guess, stagnated, for lack of a better word. Mine has never grown quickly. The number of subscribers I have has never grown quickly, but here for the past, I would say almost 3 months, it's gone up and down between 68 and 71. Sometimes it's 70, sometimes it's 69. Then it goes back up to 71. It went up as high as 73, and then it dropped down to 69. If you're watching my video, would you go and check and see if you're subscribed? And if not, would you please subscribe to me? It would be nice to see the subscriber number go up. It would be even nicer to see the views go up. And of course, if you comment on my videos, I always answer because I love the comments. So, I'm done being dramatic, okay? I'm over myself. Really, I'm over myself. Okay. So, my next project, my next bit on the side, because the Afghan is my monogamous stitch, and I did put it aside to monogamously stitch on my Mill Hill Harvest Trio for a while. And then I got an email from That's So Kelly Stidola. I subscribed to her emails a couple of years ago, and she does the same as a lot of designers do. she will offer up free patterns. And I saw this one and it was instant love. I had to have it. So I downloaded it to my cell phone. Have I ever told you that I am not tech savvy? Seriously, I am not tech savvy. I downloaded it to my phone and then I couldn't find it. It said I downloaded it into my Dropbox, but when I found Dropbox, I couldn't find it there. So I went back to the email and I went back to her site and I downloaded it again and I still couldn't find it. So finally, I went back a third time and took a picture of it, a screenshot. And then from the screenshot, I used that to stitch it because my cell phone baffles me. I've had it for 2 or 3 years now. And it's just weird. And I know it's me. But anyway, getting back to my stitch. She has this pattern and it says it's called Stitch Daily. And I saw it and I loved it. And it's a cute little pillow. Very similar to the style of this, long and skinny. And I saw the way she had it finished. So I had to go shopping for that because she shows that it has a little bit of a twill tape on there that looks like measuring tape. So I went to Amazon and I bought a spool of this twill tape. Looks like a measuring tape. There's 25 yards of spool, or of tape on this spool. It costs less than $14. I might have used 6 inches. And then some of that was wasted. 5 inches. And some of that was wasted. I'm going to have a lot of this to use forever. But before I show it to you, I also have to tell you one other thing. Okay, I've been watching Flosstube. I know. I've been watching Flosstube. And one of the ladies that I absolutely love to watch is Marlene Stitching at the Lake. I was watching her video the other day and she was talking about a piece that she had finished and she was getting ready to fully finish it, and she made the comment that she had some red ticking that would go quite nicely with the pattern. And it was like the light went off in my head because I immediately thought, oh my gosh, I have ticking upstairs. I bought it for another project and I'm sure I can use a piece of it to finish this. So I did. Thank you, Marlene, because I wasn't sure what I was going to use and I love the way that this turned out. This is my version of Stitch Daily. The twill tape right here, maybe 3 inches. 3.5 inches, I don't know. 25 yards. I'll be using this. It says on here that I can use it for paper crafts too, and we know I do paper crafting, so there you go. Anyway, this is Stitch Daily. Now, I've told you before, and I know I'll tell you again and again and again, this one has a big mistake in it. But the thing of it is, the way Kelly designed it, even though I know the mistake is there, I don't see it. And it's the way she designed the letters and the spaces between the letters. When I got over here to the H, I stitched it a whole row further this way than it was supposed to be. But you can't tell because the spacing isn't even between the other letters either. The only thing it did is it brought the edge of the H up to the edge of the design, top and bottom, which I don't think makes a difference. So, That is Stitch Daily by That's So Kelly. I used my ticking because Marlene suggested it, although she didn't realize she was suggesting it to me. I used the twill tape. When I put it together, I stitched the twill tape into the top and the bottom here, and then I just used a little bit of Aleene's tacky glue to hold it in place because I couldn't figure out how to sew it on. I'm not a seamstress. Not a seamstress. I am never going to claim to be a seamstress because I do things like when I'm stitching this and putting it together, instead of having my opening at the bottom to stuff it, it's right here. And I actually didn't do a half bad job of sewing it closed this time. So who knows? I might be getting better at my sewing skills, but I am not a seamstress. Okay. Oh, sure. We'll go there. Alrighty. So that is 3 new starts and finishes for 2022. And if you look behind me on the wall, you can see that I finished the Kayed Mila Falcha that I was stitching to go down to have at the Irish pub here in town. That's changed. The gentleman that I stitched it for, Marty, who was the bartender there, the day I posted this fully finished, he sent me a message and said that he and the owners of the Irish pub had parted ways and he wasn't going to be there anymore. And I told Mark this, and I mean, he was a big part of why we went down there. He's a good man. And he was fun to talk to, and he made it very nice to be there, and he had done a lot of work on decorating and bringing the ambiance into that pub. Excuse me. And basically, I was stitching this piece because he asked me to. And if he's not going to be there, I don't want them to have it. So I told him that I had stitched it for him and I would hold on to it until we see him again sometime in the future and pass it on to him. So in the meantime, that was my last start of last year, and it actually was my 3rd finish for this year. So the Mill Hill kit was my first start and finish. The Skinny Witch Pillow was my 2nd start and finish. Kayed Mila Falcha was my last piece from last year and my 3rd finish for this year. And then the Stitch Daily was my 3rd new start this year, but my 4th fully finished for this year. That's confusing. It is confusing. Okay, alrighty. I noticed on my camera that it was about to run out, so I turned off my camera, started over again because I want to share some happy mail that I have received. So I shared a couple of cards that I had received in the mail. The first one is from Anna, who on Instagram is not a sock site. She is in Belgium, and she sent this one, and I went and Googled the saying and says, "I'm happy to have you in my collection in," what is the language in Belgium? Is it Dutch? I'm bad. But this is a cute card. I love that little girl. So yes, when I get cards that have anything written on them that is in another language, I go to Google and I type it in and ask it to translate so that I can know what it said. I was going to try and impress you on saying it, but yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then I got a beautiful card from a lady named Denise. Look at her writing. That is absolutely beautiful, beautiful handwriting. And she sent this stunning postcard Do you see the sparkle in it? That is a postcard of Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria. I've been there twice. When my mom was German, and she was the only member of her family to leave Germany. My dad met her and they married at the end of World War II. So she was the only member of her family to live outside of Germany. When I was 11, my mom and my younger sister Erica and I went to visit our relatives in Germany, and we stayed there for a whole summer. We stayed with my Aunt Gertrude and all my other aunts and uncles. My Uncle George had a restaurant in town, and he and my Aunt Heike would take us, my Aunt Haiti, Uncle George and Aunt Haiti would take us out and about the German countryside. My Uncle Zeppel and his wife, my Aunt Rosel, and their two sons would take us out and about the German countryside. My Aunt Ella and my Uncle Heinz and their son and daughter would take us out and about the German countryside. And for 3 months, it was the most wonderful vacation, family trip I've ever experienced. And I think it was my Aunt Ella she and my Uncle Heinz had a house in the Black Forest, and we went and stayed there for a couple of weeks. And while we were there, we went to Neuschwanstein, which is down in Bavaria. This was a castle for King Ludwig of Bavaria. What I remember in that castle was his bedroom. This huge canopy bed with the curtains, but on top of it were wood carvings of all 7 castles that he had. This is the castle from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I could sing that song for you and get it stuck in your head. You're welcome, I'm not going to do that. When Mark and I went to Europe in 2003, we spent 3 days in England because I was born in England. And then we spent 10 days, did I say 3 days in England? We spent 10 days in England, and then we spent 10 days in Germany. Again, visiting with relatives and driving around all over the place. And that time I took Mark again to Neuschwanstein because it is a beautiful, beautiful castle. So thank you, Denise, for sending me that card. It brought back so many wonderful memories. And I need to ask you, Denise, if you are watching, do you have an Instagram account? Because I posted this, but I couldn't find you in my Instagram friends. And then it made me realize that you've probably commented on my videos, because I know I sent you a bookmarker. Do you have an Instagram name? If so, please let me know. Anyway, the reason I'm asking that is because on that postcard, Denise said that she was making something for me and she was going to send it to me. So the other night when I got home, there was a package in the mail. And I had to giggle because on the front, okay, Mark is apparently jealous of the fact that I get packages from people, because every time I get one he goes, "Oh, it's for you." He's not really jealous. Maybe a little. I don't know. But anyway, she addressed it to, and I got a big kick out of this, the Stitching Goddess. Thank you. I don't think so. But again, beautiful, beautiful handwriting. Another wonderfully sparkly card. Just love the imagery on this. Beautiful handwriting on the back. But what was in the package is just breathtaking. She made a blue hand crocheted doily for me. Seriously, this is gorgeous. I have sat and I have looked at the detail of this, and oh my God, this is stunning. It is so stunning, and it is the perfect shade of blue. That's my blue. So thank you so very much, Denise. Again, if you have an Instagram account, I would really like to know what your Instagram name is, because I've posted these cards and this doily. I would like to give you credit on there other than just to say Denise. And if I should know this already, well, shame on me. But sometimes I'm blonde. Another package that I got, this is from my friend Lori, Texstylust. Now, Lori and Lisa, Prims on Greenway, the three of us have done a couple of paper crafting Zoom meetups. And we're all kind of following the same people on Flosstube and everything. And she sent this package with these papers, and there's rice paper in here. This is going to be fun to play with. But I had to wait until I showed you. And then there's one with the numbers on it. And then these papers with these images on here. This is a little card. But look at that. And there are others here with tags that can be cut out. Some that she's already cut out. This one I think is absolutely gorgeous. Winter scenes. This one with the wolf. Love it. This one with birds on it. With the bird and the pine trees. And just so many gorgeous things. And then another one that's cut to be like a file folder. Definitely have plans for all of that. And then a big sheet, and it took me a while of looking at this, but there is a knight on there, as in a knight in shining armor. Medieval lore. And some teeny tiny little tags with more of them on there, and absolutely love that. There were some other goodies that were put in there. I recently got a package from Lisa, Prims on Greenway. I posted that on Instagram. It's upstairs. I should have brought it down to share with you. But both of them have been watching this lady who's using playing cards and making tags out of them. So I haven't done anything with that yet, but these are jumbo size playing cards. So I can't wait to play with some of this stuff that both Lisa and Lori have sent to me. And ladies, you should know that I have packages sitting in the kitchen that I just need to get out to the mail to head your way, so that, you know, maybe we can plan another Zoom and do some more paper crafting here soon. So pretty much that is everything that I have to share today. We may have a ghost in the house. I don't think it was the raccoons this time, but then again, I don't know. The other night I was sitting in my chair, which is right over here, and I was stitching on the afghan. Okay, when I stitch on my afghan, there's a process to me getting into my chair. It's a recliner. And I have my table next to me, and I have to get all my stuff spread out on the table so that I can stitch. and then I get the Mondo bag with the Afghan in it, and I put it in my lap, and then I get in the seat and I throw my feet up so that the chair moves back, because you have to throw yourself in it to make it move. And then I get it all spread out across my lap, and then I'm happily stitching. And Mark was out in the shop, and he comes in and he goes, "Who's upstairs?" And I said, "I don't know." So I yelled upstairs, "Who's up there?" Nobody replies. Mark goes upstairs. I hear him go into our bedroom. He comes back downstairs and he goes, "That was just really weird." And he goes, "I was out in the shop and I could hear somebody walking around in our bedroom." Okay, you know I have the raccoons that party on the roof? Well, you can tell when the raccoons are on the roof, even if you're sitting down here in the living room, because they sound like a herd of frickin' elephants running across the roof. I didn't hear anything like that. So, we may have a ghost. Oh well. Wouldn't be the first time. Probably not the last time. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm more like a rusty bucket of haunted bog water. So if you like my videos, please take a moment to check and see that you're subscribed, because I would like to see that number go up instead of bounce up and down and up and down and up and down. And if you're interested in me doing a more in-depth video on mill hill kits, taking you through the process of how I stitch one, let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully I will get back onto a more regular schedule for doing videos, but I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of playing it by ear, and that seems to be working. I'm just happy that I'm stitching again. So until we meet again, live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye-bye.